I don't believe in motivation. I believe that you can't motivate anybody. All you can do is create an atmosphere to where people want to motivate themselves. I've never had a problem with motivation. I grew up very poor. I mean, my dad drove, I was adopted. My adopted parents worked in a factory and drove a trash truck. I wasn't taught about money, but I was never unmotivated.
Yeah, but you were never going to be lazy because of that. So I want to mention something with what you just said. You just mentioned that you don't believe in motivation. So motivation, for anybody listening to this, motivation is not real.
Yeah.
If you only did things when you're motivated to do it, motivation comes after you start acting on something. So that's not motivation.
Right.
That's actually direction and purpose, right?
Yep.
So if you're working on something that you believe in, that's purpose and passion. If you're working on something that you don't believe in, that's stress, right?
Yeah.
So motivation is not real. What is real is habits.
Yep.
So if you adopt the pain and discomfort of building a new habit, which it sucks, by the way, I'm not telling you that it's going to happen overnight, and two, that it's not going to be like super comfortable, because it's not.
Yep.
Like if you want to get in the habit of going to the gym every morning, those first 60 days are going to be hellacious. But every day after those 60 days, it's going to be the favorite part of your day.
You're right.
So you have to get other things like that. You have to build things to a point where even if you don't feel good, you're going to be doing it because you're going to feel worse if you don't do it.
Right.
And that's what it's taken me on my businesses and me in my personal life and my financial life to do. That way I continue to practice the principles that I need to continue growing day to day, even if I'm not having a great day, because nobody has it. Nobody's day every day is great, for
That's
sure.
right.
Especially if you're in business. If you're in business, just be prepared to be punched in the face daily.
Yeah. As an entrepreneur, there may be an hour of the day where you feel like you're going out of business, an hour of the day where you think you're the smartest person in the world, and and an hour most of the time somewhere in between there. But you're riding a roller coaster, daily, weekly, whatever. But something you just said too, that the habits. I've been, again, for 30 years in business. I've heard it takes 21 days to form a habit. Now I'm not disputing that, but I'm saying it takes 90 days to ingrain that habit in you.
At least.
Right? Yeah, at least. Right? Because there's a point where it just is automatic. And then when you think about it, whether it's finance or physical or anything else, there's another great little book, and I think it was written by, I want to say James Gray or Jim Gray, and it's called The Common Denominator of Success. And when people ask me, this is my version of that quote is, successful people make a habit of doing things unsuccessful people either can't or won't do.
100% true.
I tell people in this business, like in the CreateTailwind business, just to take that part, as you already know, because you're a client, I'm passionate about sharing with people how to do something different financially and break away from the pack. Now, I do it because I love to do that. I love to communicate that with people. I own a factory because I worked in a factory when I was 13 years old. I swung a hammer for 8 hours a day. Now, I would like to say I swung it for 8 hours a day, but that would be a lie, because you can't swing a hammer, even if you get good righty and lefty, for 8 hours. But there was breaks in there, and you know what it taught me is I don't want to swing a hammer for 8 hours a day.
I can't swing a hammer one time a day. So not 1 hour a day, one time a day. I'm terrible at stuff like that. And what's funny is what taught me that I could never do something similar to that was actually my dad. I watched my dad wake up at 4 a.m. and get home at 4 p.m. every day.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, in high school, like, passing him on the road, like, going home and he's going to work. I remember thinking, I can't do that. What am I going to do?
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny you say that, because there's the SAID principle, specific adaptation to imposed demands. And, sometimes our parents and our grandparents, and they worked hard all day long, physical, if they were manual laborers, and it's tough. But who I think, like, I could never do that is my wife was a teacher for a while. And I thought, you could not pay me enough money to sit in a room with 20 kids. I love
Yeah.
kids, but you could not pay me enough to do it. I physically, mentally, emotionally couldn't do it. I'd quit. I mean, if you forced me to do it, it'd be like my personal hell is to have to be in there listening to these whiny little kids for that long.
Yeah.
Hopefully
The
maybe
second
like
you sit
10.
down, you actually become physically ill.
Yeah. 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 Or yeah, you think about it, or hey, I've gotta, do something like where they used to work their butts off for 10 hours a day or 12 hours a day, like you said, with your pops. I mean, that's tough. And you say, man, I couldn't do that. If that's what I have to do, I'm not sure I can do it.